All right, Joe, another great night here at the O. I can't believe it, man. It's already September 7th. We're almost coming up on a year here that the OSWA has been going on.
Right you are, PK. You know what, I'll tell you something. I knew we were in for a great night tonight. You know, when I flew in from LAX and I landed here at the ATL with Mr. Hollywood, we came here, we had these poor kids sitting here in the parking lot saying, please, let me shine your shoes so I can afford to come into this show. And you know what, some of them actually did an okay job. I let them in. The other ones I sent on home to their mediocre homes, to their mediocre families.
Okay, Joe, when you landed from LAX or when you took XLAX, because I can't really tell. But let's get back to the show.
Stop it, PK.
Anyway, so the match starts out, and what happens? Clint Eller calls out the show, get the golden ticket back from Zach Blaine, because what happened was, you know, Chad Silva rightfully won it, and Zach Blaine took it from him. So, you know, Clint Eller calls him out and says, hey, look, you've got to give it back. And
I'll tell you something now. Once again, there he is. Clint Eller showing his jealousy of the show because they're the best. They are the tag team. They are the stable of champions. And you know, Clint Eller can't take it because you know that they really run the show like I do. And I'll tell you something. You know that Zach Blaine rightfully had that golden ticket. But Clint had to do something. And I'll tell you something. I might have to call Clint into my office so that I can write him a counseling statement or suspend him without pay for what he did.
Well, Joe, let's get back to what really happened. Basically what happened was, you know, so he calls them back into the ring, and he goes, look, you either give me back the golden ticket, Zach, or you're going to lose your corporate championship. So Zach, you know, he wants to hold on to it, so he winds up giving back, begrudgingly, the golden ticket.
Absolutely. That shows how smart he was, though. Because what's really more important is to have a chance to have a championship or to already have a championship on your belt. So I think he made the right choice, and that's why he's in the show, because he knows how to make the right decisions, and don't you forget it.
Well, anyway, so what basically Clint does is Clint goes, okay, fine. You know, because of course, you know, Chad Silva comes out because he wants his golden ticket back. So Clint says, look, you guys are going to have to wrestle for it tonight, and it winds up becoming our main event for the night.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, the next match starts. We've got, you know, A-Striker's brother, Jack Striker, comes out, and he's going to face Will Caution.
Once again, PK, we got Will Caution, one of the best in OSWA. No! One of the best in all of professional wrestling. And I'll tell you something, he's on his way up. You know what, I'll tell you something, he's just getting through high school right now, and he's already hungry. He's already wanting that gold. And I'll tell you something, he's dropping everybody on the wayside. All those losers that try to hold on and leech onto him. Well, I'll tell you something, PK, he's making the right decisions by getting rid of those bonds and going straight ahead to more gold and more glory.
Well, let's get back to the action that was tonight, Joe, instead of the commercial that you just cut for Will Caution.
Will you shut up?
Well, basically, you know, it was a good match. I'll tell you something. You know, Jack Striker's brother, A-Striker, was out there, you know, giving his brother some, you know, some, hey, you know, you can go out there, you can do it. But then all of a sudden, you know, did you ever notice on occasion, though, Jack Striker would disappear under the ring?
I have no
idea. And then come back out,
then
then disappear back under, then come back out. What do you think was going on under that ring?
I have no idea, PK. All I know was that he's a strategic genius. And whatever he did, it doesn't matter. Because the point is, he was doing what it needed to be done to get a victory. But something happened, PK.
Yeah, the ending was great, because I'll tell you something. You know, A-Striker, he's arguing with the ref, right? Because for some reason, Jack and Ace come out from under the ring at the same time. Don't know what kind of brotherly troll thing they may have had going on down there, but they both come out at the same time. And so while Ace is arguing with the ref, Jack, he takes a chair, and he looks like he's about to hit Will, but then Will turns around, and so Jack, you know, he played it pretty smart. He takes the chair, and he hits the mat, throws the chair to Will, throws himself on the ground right when Lee Justice turns around.
Of course.
And of course, he disqualifies Will Caution.
Exactly. Will Caution getting cheated out of another victory again. But I'll tell you something, PK, something happened. There was a blessing in disguise when it came to the end of that match. You know what that was?
What was that, Joe? I can't wait. Tell me.
Will you shut up?
And the audience wants to hear too. Please tell Joe. Joe, please.
Will you shut up and pay attention to me?
I can't help myself. Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you something. It was the return of the mighty A-Striker. And I'll tell you something, he's one of the most dangerous wrestlers ever to step into the OSWA. And I'll tell you something, I'm excited to see him back because he's a man who likes to hurt a man. He's a man who'll do anything to get a victory. And I am so glad he is back in the OSWA, PK.
Well, Joe, as a matter of fact, we've got Ace here right now. Let's see what he has to say.
Absolutely, PK. It's a pleasure to have Ace-Striker back.
Welcome back to the OSWS.
It is a pleasure to have you back. How do you feel to be back here?
I feel real good being here.
Yeah.
I feel real good to bust heads again.
Absolutely.
So what are your plans here now that you're back here in the OSWA?
Me and my brother Striker going to take over the belts. Tag team belts.
Well, we'll be discussing that later, but we do got the tag team tournament coming up. Now then, hold on, we've got some experienced guys coming into this tag match, and it's been a while since you've been in the ring. And, you know, your brother, he's still fairly new here in the OSWA. Do you guys feel like you've got enough chemistry and ability to rise to the top and become the tag team champions?
We have all the chemistry to earn that battle match. All of it.
Well, I hope that's the case, you know, because I'll tell you something, I have to admit, you know, you and I never really see eye to eye on a lot of things. I'm going to give it to you, Ace. You are a pretty good wrestler.
And we won't either.
That's a good point.
You're a smart man, Ace Striker. I can't wait to see more action coming from this man right here. Yeah, tag team titles, I'm sure that's a given, but I have better visions, I have clearer visions for this man, like the Ultimate Championship.
That's right, that's right. I'm ready for anything. Ready for anything.
Man,
Well, Ace, like I said, welcome back, and good luck to you here
Thanks,
back
sir.
in the OSWA.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
man, let me ask you, what do you got to say for these people? I know you have something you want to say.
Shut your mouth!
Yeah. There you go. That's what I want to tell all those little ham and eggers out there in that audience.
Well, Joe, he is definitely back, you know. Well, then we had the next match, right? We had the Devlins. They come out because they want to take on Stay Fresh, but unfortunately, once again, Stay Fresh was a no-show, so the Devlins come out, and, you know, CC and Matt, they're out there, and who comes out? But Jack Striker and his brother Ace with, you know, they say, hey, you know, let's go for it. And you know, the Devlins, they were nice, said, look, if you know, and they agreed, look, if you can find a partner, we're going to go ahead and let you wrestle. So he starts going around, you know, he starts looking around, he passes right by you, which was probably one of the best moves he could have made. He's going.
That's one of the worst mistakes he ever made.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see you in the ring, Joe, and I'm sure there's plenty of our fans that would love it too. So he's going around, he goes with one of our cameramen. And who's behind the camera there, Joe?
You know who it was. It was Diamond Alex Decker.
Who agreed to come out of retirement for this match. And I'll tell you something, Joe, I was a little worried. I thought, you know, hey, it's been a while since he's wrestled. You know, his hair's grown out, so he doesn't look so much like Chris Daughtry's angry younger brother.
Oh, will you stop that, PK?
Well, Joe, then all of a sudden the match was going, and the match winds up going to a draw because they time out. 10-minute time limit, and they wind up time out. So you got to give it to, you know, Jack Striker and to Alex Diamond Decker, because he went ahead and he went the whole match. But the thing is, you know, they couldn't pull off a victory.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll tell you something. It does say a lot about the chemistry between those two. And I'll tell you why. Because we had CC Devlin. We had Matt Devlin, a father and son connection that have been wrestling for years with one another. And even though they had all that chemistry, even though they had the father and son connection and everything, they still didn't have what it takes to beat Jack Striker and Diamond Alex Decker.
You know, Joe, if I hadn't known you since childhood, the way you said that, I would have thought that maybe you had some dad and son issues. But you know what? That's okay. It was still a great match, and I thought, I'll tell you something, the Devlins did really well. And after that, we had probably the most physical match of the night. Cody McCauley versus Keith Cage. I'll tell you something, these guys went at it. I mean, it was inside the ring, it was outside the ring, you know, and I quite frankly, I couldn't tell who was going to win.
Exactly, because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what really impressed me was that Keith Cage, the crowd pleaser, had all the crowd with him, all the crowd on his side. And let's face it, I'll admit it, he did have quite a bit of the upper hand. But let me tell you something, PK, and let me tell all you ham and eggers out there, that other guy, Cody McCauley, kept coming back. And guess what?
And I'll tell you something, it was awesome. You know, Keith Cage, you know, he's going up for that high-risk, high-reward maneuver. He's on the top rope. He does this flying cross body slam. Cody McCauley catches him, something I didn't see coming.
See, that's why that kid is stronger than most people think. And I'll tell you something, man, he surprised everybody except me, because I knew that he had it in him, and we're seeing even greater things. But you know exactly what happened after that.
Exactly. Cody McCauley does a sidewalk slam on Keith Cage, and he gets the pin. And I'll tell you something, he earned it. I'm not a Cody McCauley fan. He's done a lot of damage to a lot of people, but I'll tell you something, he definitely pulled off a win tonight, and my hat's off to him.
Absolutely, PK.
And then, of course, you know, White Trash comes out. They haven't been able to defend their title for 2 shows in a row. And according to OSWA bylaws, Joe, they have to give up their championship. So as they come out there, you know, they graciously, a little begrudgingly, but still graciously give up their titles. They give them back to Clint Eller. And then who comes out thinking they should automatically be crowned the kings of the tag teams? The Show.
And naturally so. Because I'll tell you why. Because they are the best. They are the stable of champions. They are the golden stable. They have more gold than I have in the rims of these sunglasses. And they deserved to get those titles back because they were the champions before them. And if those tag team champions, if they get forfeited, if they have to be taken away, it should go to the tag team who were champions before that. I think it's a travesty and a waste of talent that they did that Clint decided otherwise.
Well, Joe, and I think it's a great thing because Clint basically set up a tournament. A lot of tag teams come out of the works. Guys, we had the show, of course, then of course the tag team specialists, Jake Hughes and Alpha McFly, they come out. And then CC and Matt Devlin, they came out, all wanting a shot for it. Even Taco and Goat Boy, that was a couple I didn't see coming. And then all of a sudden, of course, the Strikers, Ace and Jack, they come out. And so Clint does, Clint Eller, he's pretty wise in his decision making. And he goes, okay, guys, we're having a tag team tournament. And basically, it's going to be a single elimination style. And whoever the last two teams standing, come October 19th, whoever wins that match is going to be crowned the tag team champions. And I thought that was the most judicious and fair way to do it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, PK. I can't wait till the 19th. I can't wait till the gold is once again around the waist of the best tag team in the O-sho, in the O-universe. And that is, of course, the show. And so, yeah, it's going to be great. Justice will be done, and then they will finally get their tag titles back. You just wait, and all you ham and anchors out there, you remember that. Because I'll tell you something right now, they're the best, and nobody can say anything else about it, and don't you forget it.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you something. Nobody will be able to say that you are biased whatsoever for the show.
That's right.
They're going to be able to tell that you're going to be able to call this down the middle, and I'm looking forward to sitting next to you while we do it. Then we had Ninja King versus Wasabi. Wasabi comes out, and he calls out, in his broken English, he calls out for Ninja King and for Sushi Roll. Because remember when I was interviewing Sushi Roll a couple weeks ago, Ninja King comes out, kicks him in the face, and takes him off.
That's what happens when you're a little kid in a man's world.
Well, then all of a sudden,
you get taken, you get beaten up.
Well, the Ninja King, he sends out some minions. Well, Wasabi, you can never underestimate this guy. He takes 3 dudes out. 3 dudes out.
Absolutely. People.
And then all of a sudden, Ninja King comes out. He mixes it up with him for just a little bit, but then he takes off running. So, I got to tell you something. I don't see this coming to an end yet. And I'm looking forward to really seeing those 2 guys go for it.
I can't wait to, PK, because we know how Wasabi can fight. We know how good he can wrestle. We haven't really seen much of the Ninja King yet. So I'm looking forward to see what ability he has against the one, the only Wasabi.
Joe, I agree. I'll tell you something. I think the Ninja King is going to be a great adversary for Wasabi. And then we had, Jimmy Lee, because he had to give up the title. Clint Eller says, hey, look, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a shot at the Ultimate title tonight with Z. And so Jimmy Lee and Z, they go for it. I'll tell you something, it was a pretty good match, Jimmy Lee gave up a lot of size and a lot of weight to the Monster Z. But of course, Z came out on top and he winds up getting the win. But what really ticked me off about it was I believe that you should, when you're a champion, you should act a certain way. And Z, after he gets the victory, he just goes ahead and he starts beating up on Jimmy Lee. Does a Samoan slam and just keeps on bringing it to him to the point where Chad Silva comes out from the back and puts a stop to it by getting in Z's face.
And what's Chad Silva doing? Sticking his nose in that business. I'll tell you something, PK, he's biting off way more than he can chew.
Well, Joe, we had the Golden Ticket match coming up, so it makes you wonder, if Chad Silva was going to win that Golden Ticket back, if he was going to go ahead and cash that in and take on the Monster Z. So I'll tell you something, that would be a great match because they're about the same size and they've got about the same ability, and I think Chad Silva definitely has earned his way up to the top. And then, Jake Hughes, he comes out, and he's got this chest brace on and this back brace on. He's got this neck brace on because, Rod Bolt a couple of shows ago did a couple pile drives on him outside the ring, causing those injuries. So Jake comes out, he bravely goes into the ring, and Clint Eller feels like, look, you're not clear to wrestle, blah, blah, blah. He's trying to talk him down. Then all of a sudden, it was great. You see Jake, he just rips that neck collar off, he rips that chest brace, that back brace off, and he calls out Rod Bolt.
Yeah, there you go. And you said bravely comes to the ring. Deceitfully came to the ring. Lying, cheating as he usually does. Always hungry, always just greedy, always looking for a way to find a cheap victory. Everybody sees him as some great Prince Charming. Well, I disagree.
Well, Joe, speaking of cheap victories and cheap attacks and stuff like that, the whole show winds up attacking Jake Hughes. And so Brozilla comes out to help defend his friend. And all of a sudden, it devolves into a tag match. And I'll tell you something, it was a great match. A lot of back and forth action. But then, man, what was really great was Jake Hughes gets Rod Bolt in the middle of the ring while, Security Shane and Brozilla and everybody else is fighting outside. He gets in the middle of the ring, hits him with a sharpshooter, and Rod Bolt winds up tapping out. And I'll tell you something, what a great victory for Jake Hughes. He really needed a victory like that, and he scored one tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, he got lucky tonight. But
lucky? He got lucky tonight?
Absolutely.
Joe, he put the man in a sharpshooter in the middle of the ring and made him tap out. That's not luck, folks. That is skill. But what was wrong, though, is the show then starts to attack them. You know, Security Shane probably thought, you know, Jake Hughes had a bologna sandwich in his back pocket or something.
Stop that.
And he starts attacking him, and all of a sudden, who comes out? Alpha McFly. Remember we interviewed him a few weeks ago? Yeah. Alpha said, he's like, look, I've come back from the future for one reason and one reason only, and that's to take on Mr. Hollywood. And he started getting his hands on Hollywood, and Hollywood goes running out of the ring.
Yeah, but remember, Hollywood took him out first.
Well, then, Joe, why didn't he stay in there and quote-unquote finish the job? Because he knew he couldn't, and that's why he ran out.
Maybe it's
to the loving arms of Security Shane, probably to give him a marshmallow some more or something like that.
No. Maybe he was just running to go fight another fight. You never know.
Oh, yeah, I do know. Anyways, then, of course, we had the main event.
Absolutely, PK. Zach Blaine,
the track
best
star.
of the best, the champion.
The track star.
Will you stop that,
versus
PK?
Chad Silva. And I love the stipulation. Nobody from the show could be ringside.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know, we got Security Shane coming out. I think Zach Blaine had like a piece of brisket in his hand, was leading him out like this, because, man, Security Shane was really interested in what was going on. So Security Shane, he comes out, then Clint Eller comes to the side and goes, hey, look, I set the stipulation, you got to go. And all the fans were singing, na, 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 na.
Yeah.
Hey,
Who cares about that? Who cares what the fans sing? 1955 called him wants their song back.
Well, Joe, it was great. And I'll tell you something, it was a great match. And, you know, once again, Zach Blaine, to his credit, he went after the left knee of Chad Silva, which is definitely his Achilles heel. And I'll tell you something.
He's got a lot of Achilles heels.
Well, that one is definitely one, because that takes a lot of his power moves away. You know, they're in the middle of the ring. It's getting towards the end of the match. They're in the middle of the ring, and Zach Blaine's got Chad Silva in a crossface. And, dude, I thought he was going to tap out. His knee's already injured and stuff like that. But what does he do? He does a reversal and Chad Silva puts Zach Blaine in an anaconda vice, causing him to tap out, and Chad Silva wins the golden ticket.
Yeah, for now, PK. But you just wait. So I have a feeling it's not over yet. And it won't be over until Zach Blaine winds up on top.
Well, Joe, I was just glad to see that the golden ticket was once again back in the hands of the person who rightfully owned it, and that was Chad Silva. And folks, we've got some great stuff coming up. On Tuesday, September 10th at the Chattahoochee Fair, we've got an event there. October 4th, we got the Friday night at the Phonopolis. We'll be there as well. Of course, the 5th, we've got the O-sho. We'll be back here in the O-rena. Then on the 19th, we got Experience. Come dressed in your Halloween costume. We're going to have costume contests. Whoever's got the best costume as well, you can dress up as your favorite wrestler. You can even dress up as Joe here.
Of course you can.
If you want a little feminine touch to your life.
Hey, will you stop that, PK?
And then, of course, you know, on the 24th, we'll be at the fairgrounds again. And, Joe, I'm looking forward to the next show. Hey, Joe, by the way, the outfit, the boa, let me just make one recommendation. Do not go to West Monroe, Louisiana, towards the swamps, because if the Duck Dynasty folks are out there, they might take a shot at you.
Well,
Thank you,
stop
folks,
that, PK.
and we'll see you in a couple weeks.